Two, one. Hi, everybody. We are live yet again with another episode of Warriors Podcast. And I'm really, really excited today to welcome my guest, Stefanie Fernandes, rapid transformation therapist. Stefanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vivian. Hi, everyone.
Hi there. And today it's a powerful topic, maybe one of the most powerful topics that there can be at all. And we're talking about creating more confidence and listing out and digging deep into limiting beliefs that are holding many women back from getting what they want, getting success, going for the things that they really love, and so much more. The effect is huge and the impact of this is huge as well. That's why it's a big topic. So watch till the end. There's going to be a lot of juice here covered today. So Stefanie, first of all, I wanted to start off with you have this wonderful title, a rapid transformation therapist. What does that entail? Could you just open up that a little bit for us?
Yeah, so rapid transformational therapy is maybe not as widely known as regular cognitive behavioral therapy. So it's a groundbreaking method that utilizes hypnotherapy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I work with clients, I put them under hypnosis, and then I use tools of cognitive behavioral therapy and neurolinguistic programming, and we really make use of neuroscience and neuroplasticity, which means that the brain can still change even though you're an adult. Like we have this common belief that only children up to a certain age can form new synapses in their brain, like new
Mm-hmm.
pathways.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it still works also for adults. And this is what we're really utilizing in this therapy method. And it's extremely effective because we go to the root cause of a problem or an issue through hypnotherapy. That means, we all know that the thinking brain, the rational brain, is very present in our life. But what is
Yes.
actually running our life are the underlying subconscious beliefs that have been created
Mm-hmm.
when we were little, and
Mm-hmm.
we cannot access them anymore because they are so deeply buried, and everything goes on autopilot once you reach a certain age, and how you do that very often, and then you don't reflect anymore why you do what you do, why you behave the way you do.
Mm-hmm.
And with hypnosis, we go into the subconscious mind. We do a regression, which is we visit experiences from the past that have all to do with the lack of confidence, for example. And I work with clients that are completely surprised. Like, for example, they would say, I had a wonderful childhood and I had a nurturing and loving mother. But there was this one situation when I was in my
Mm-hmm.
birthday party and my best friend couldn't come. And
Mm-hmm.
so she started to believe that she's not good enough, that her friend
Mm-hmm.
doesn't like her. And that carried on through her life. It was not resolved in a moment because she couldn't articulate that. She was only 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the parents couldn't catch it, so you cannot talk about it with the understanding of a 5-year-old. No child could make sense of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
when she went back to the scene and she said, whoa, this is the reason why I feel not good enough, why I have this
Mm-hmm.
lack of confidence. Of course, I don't believe this anymore. Like, I don't need this. This is
Mm-hmm.
old. And now I see with the adult mindset that it is outdated. You can
Mm-hmm.
just remove this belief. It's like almost when you were a child and you didn't believe in Santa anymore, all of a sudden. You could never go back and believe again in Santa because you saw the truth. Santa is not like
Mm-hmm.
as much as you want to believe it, but you cannot. So, this is the same principle with RTT that we use. It's really eye opening and awakening.
Yeah, amazing. This sounds really amazing. So it's a brain change and really working on the subconscious level. I wonder if you also have your own personal story of transformation with RTT.
I do. And this is actually how I came into this profession.
Mhm.
So when I became a mother, I realized that I had created this emotional shield for protection to not be hurt,
Mhm.
which worked quite fine in my adolescence and in my early adulthood, or while I was living the life, I thought it worked quite fine. In hindsight, I can
Mhm.
see how it was really holding me back and
Mhm.
created me difficulties in the romantic relationships I had, but also in the friendships that I had. But then when I became a mother, I had this little person in front of me and I had to bond with him. But it was really difficult because there was this shield. And I
Mhm.
knew that I didn't want to just survive this motherhood thing. I really want to be present for him and be the best mother I can be. But for that, I need to remove the shield, become vulnerable, and assume all the emotions that I have inside of me. And they are sad, they are the sad emotions. And not only the happy ones and the exciting ones. But I was
Mhm.
not very good at that time at identifying what this was. So I had an RTT
Mhm.
session with an excellent therapist. And within 2 hours, it was just one session. Within 2 hours, I uncovered the limiting belief of that I'm not lovable. I thought I was
Mm.
not lovable. That's why I shielded myself to not get hurt. And I thought, okay, I don't deserve real love, unconditional love. For whatever
Mhm.
reason, it's not important anymore, but I was still carrying that belief, even
Mhm.
though I seemed from the outside as a very brave and confident woman, but I still felt always there's something holding me back. I couldn't
Mhm.
identify. And
Mhm.
this session really opened my eyes of it also made me understand of who I was, who and what is social conditioning, what is upbringing, what are the beliefs that I created that go beyond of who I am. Like
Mm.
I didn't, I kind of lost myself on the way. And
Mhm.
since that, so that's 5 years ago, I live a very conscious and aware life. I'm very conscious of how I speak because I understand now the words I say to myself and the words I say to people around me have an impact on how I feel. Because
Mhm.
everything you say creates a picture in your mind, and that picture in your mind creates a physical response. So if
Yes.
I run around the house, uh, tidying up toys from my boys, the Lego pieces hurt like hell when you step on them. And I was like, I hate this. I don't, they kill me. This is killing me. I hate this. Even though it's not killing me, but my mind creates this picture of real danger. Then I have this physical response and I cannot get out of it. So there is
Mhm.
this spiral of emotions that is really difficult to control once you're in it. And I'm very aware to use a language that is giving my mind positive suggestions. And
Mhm.
if I don't want to step on those Lego pieces, then I ask, guys, can you please help me to pick up the Lego? If I don't want to
Mhm.
cook, I ask my husband, can you please cook dinner tonight instead of, you know, and I need to do this every day. I need to cook, and I'm the only one working
Mm.
in this house. So it's really being aware of the things you say to yourself. And
Mhm.
I always tell my clients, imagine you have a roommate, and that roommate talks to you the way you talk. Would you like to stay with that roommate? No, you wouldn't.
Mm.
You
Mm.
want kindness and empathy, you want compassion, and this is what we should give ourselves. And yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So much wisdom here. So, does that happen also in fear when we are in fear that we have created this picture that has now like a physical manifestation, like it's in our body, of course, but like fear often is like it's like a block, right?
Mm.
Is that the same thing that we have probably created with our words, with our image, with our mind and image, then manifests as a fear? Is
Yeah,
that
very
what's happening
often.
on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I if I can share a story from a client I had that she came to me for the fear of driving.
Mhm.
And she uncovered in the session that she was not afraid really of driving. The fear stemmed from a fear of dying when she was very little. She went on a skiing holiday and fell in the snow with a head forward and she couldn't breathe. And it felt like an eternity until someone came to help her out. So she was really
Oh.
panicky.
Mhm.
And it was not resolved because the adult around her would just laugh, thought it was funny
Mhm.
because it looked funny how she fell and how she was stuck in the snow. But for that
Sure.
little girl, it was life
It
threatening.
don't. Yeah. And
Yeah,
safety was taken away.
exactly.
What we need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's
And
a very.
um, and so when she started driving, she would she would be so worried of dying, and the thoughts went in spirals. It's like, what if, what if, what if?
Mhm.
Then
Mhm.
she started having kids. The kids are in the back seat. Now it's not only me anymore. It's I have this responsibility for my children. And if you let this negative thought allow to stay and to ruminate and to come up
Mhm.
again and again and actually or not identify but define that negative thought as a real threat, like there is a real
Mhm.
threat,
Mhm.
then this fear has really space in your body to develop and paralyzes you. So
Mhm.
apart from uncovering the belief that we do in the RTT session, we also incorporate new supporting beliefs.
Mhm.
So there must be something instead of the worry and the
Of
fear or
course.
the lack of confidence to fill the void. And that is when it comes to I can do anything. I'm safe. I'm a good driver.
Mhm.
Everything will be okay. I don't need to worry. Like the worry can come, but then it needs to move on. You don't stay with the worry and the fear. It's just another thought. Just like the
Mhm.
thought of tonight I'm going to have ice cream with my kids. Yesterday I fell asleep on the couch. Like whatever thought it is, it's just a
Mhm.
thought. If you don't judge it, it will move on. So in that word, that helps a lot with the fear.
Mhm. Mhm. That's amazing. Um, when we talk about confidence, then what are those top two, three limiting beliefs that are really holding women back?
Mm. It's mostly I am not enough.
Mhm.
I am not good enough. I'm not worthy, and I cannot do this. And the lack of confidence really manifests in many ways. So, for example, if you are a people pleaser, you're tiptoeing around the house or the work environment, you're not really confident asking for that raise or that promotion because you think you don't deserve it, or you think you're
Mhm.
not good enough, you don't tick all the boxes of that promotion.
Mhm.
But it can also manifest in being unable to set boundaries because you don't like to upset people around you and you avoid the conflict as a result of saying no. Um, or, for example, imposter syndrome is a very typical symptom of lack of confidence. And a
Mhm.
big one when I work with other therapists or nurses. So I'm a nurse myself, and
Mhm.
I remember very well when I was working in a hospital setting, there were many colleague nurses that felt very uncomfortable around those highly educated doctors
Mhm.
and wouldn't speak up. So nursing is an own profession, and a medical doctor has his own profession and his own tasks and responsibilities. But you need to be confident to speak up what is best for the patient. And a lot of nurses couldn't do that. So now I also work with nurses because I understand where they're coming from,
Yep.
to be able to trust your gut feeling, to trust that you know things. You are the expert.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, lack of confidence really impacts your whole life. Like when you become a parent and all of a sudden this little kid triggers a feeling in you where you feel disrespected, It's
Mhm.
often not the kid, it's often what these triggers we have, they are linked to the limiting belief. I'm not good enough. I'm not heard. I'm not seen. This kid is not following my instructions. I'm the mom. He needs to do what I say. And when I work with parents and we go back to the root cause of that trigger, it's like rooted in their own childhood when they were not seen, when they could not express and explain themselves. And that made them feel, I'm not worthy to be heard. And
Mhm.
that created the low self-esteem and the lack of confidence, because the people around you that love you the most and should support you the most, they don't listen to you. So how do you how do you think that you are worthy to be listened to? It's really
Mhm.
tricky, like it's very complex, and lack of confidence is different from almost all the clients I work with, but it all comes down to the same belief: I'm not
So
good
yeah, unworthiness. Mhm.
enough.
Yes, I see that a lot as well,
Yeah.
and especially in entrepreneurship,
Yeah,
yes, it has huge consequences if you have that belief, and it's a huge stopper
yeah,
actually from abundance.
yeah, exactly, totally. So
Mhm.
if you don't feel worthy of receiving all that, you're quite afraid of putting yourself out there. Like
Mhm.
if I am not confident that I can resolve people's issues, that I am
Mhm.
able to resolve their limiting beliefs, then I will not be able to speak on a live with you, for example,
Yep.
um, to expose myself. That would make me
Mhm.
feel very uncomfortable. And it doesn't
Mhm.
have, it has nothing to do with the skills we have, with the knowledge we have. It is
Mhm.
only our internal state of feeling
Mhm.
not confident enough and trusting ourselves. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, this happens to so many women. And I hope with the work we do, like you and I, that we create awareness around this topic and how we raise our children, how we talk to girls, growing up, that it's okay to speak up. You're not bossy, or,
Yes.
be a good girl and sit in a corner and, wear your cute dress. This is not how we raise resilient and confident kids. We need to give them
Mhm.
space. We need to listen to them. And if we cannot
Mhm.
listen, because sometimes you just don't have time or headspace, and that's okay. You can say, Mommy attends to you in 10 minutes, read the book in the meantime, and I'm right with you. And that's okay. You can explain that, but that requires confidence in yourself to be authentic and to be able to communicate it like that.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I was just today watching a talk, rewatching a talk on International Women's Day celebration, and it was about the STEM, so science, technology, engineering, math, and how many women are kind of already raised to stay out of there, and how underrepresented that those areas still are in our society, and how much it impacts our everyday life actually,
Yeah.
um, and how products
Imagine,
are designed, how services are designed, everything.
yeah. Imagine
Mm.
there would be more women in these fields. Products would be much more suitable for all sorts of people,
Yep.
for all
Yep.
sorts of needs, and it's very masculine driven still. I mean, I
Yes,
cannot
absolutely.
believe that female hygiene products were developed by men. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it,
So it's a bra, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yes. So more confident women are needed everywhere, and the rising is definitely needed. So how could, in your opinion, women, like, what would be the first steps that you would tell here to overcome these blocks of unworthiness and of not good enoughness? What would be your advice?
I think the first thing is really to become the watcher of your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
to become aware of what you're thinking and what these thoughts trigger in you. I always tell my clients, let your triggers be your guide. I
That's
had
a good
one,
one.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
had one situation, and I'm already living a aware and conscious life, I would say. But I mean, nobody's perfect, and I still have loads of triggers that come up with new situations. So it's an
Yeah,
ongoing process.
of
And I
course.
was sitting in my previous work um, with a spreadsheet, with an Excel file, which I would say is not really my strength and my passion. But I was in corporate before, so I did it anyways. And I had a colleague whom I asked for advice, and he was very rude to me. And I felt I felt so bad, like I got hot. I had almost like a panic attack and anxiety. I couldn't breathe. And in this moment, I thought, what is going on here? Like it's only a spreadsheet. There's no real threat.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that the feedback I got from my colleague triggered in me the feeling of unworthiness, and I cannot do this. I'm not good enough for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you realize that in that situation, it takes time to process. So, I mean, I'm living this conscious life since 5 years. So, in this moment, I could identify what was going on, calm myself down, my nervous system down, so that I could still function. But I think what I want to say is really, if you feel something is triggering you, someone is triggering you,
Mm-hmm.
um, always look within you and not what that person says or what that person did. These are things you cannot control. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
someone says, you don't want to be dependent on other people's opinion or feedback. Unless, I mean, it's family and you're asking for, advice, or that's a different story. But there are so many people who are still in pain from their own baggage that it's just
Mm-hmm.
loaded onto others.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if you become aware of what is making you feel uncomfortable, reach out to someone that can help you resolve it. If that doesn't need to be a therapist, that can be a life coach, that can be um, someone else than a friend, I would say.
Yeah.
It's to
Yeah.
talk to friends, but it's not very professional, and the outcome is just very different. Um, but what we think often is that I don't qualify for therapy because I don't have like that mental illness, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a lunatic. Like all these limiting beliefs about therapy are still very
Yep.
much around us. And I think, don't just be brave, take your time, take your life into your own hands and resolve that trigger, and you will be so free, and you will
Mm.
feel so much better with yourself.
Mm. So it all starts with taking these small actions of actually increasing your everyday awareness, and then noting down the moments of pain, right? Like,
Yeah,
oh, keeping a journal, and
yeah, exactly.
then
Yeah,
seeing, yeah, that's where you see the pattern,
yeah. And you
of
need to
what.
write for quite a few minutes so that the subconscious thoughts are coming. Like when I started journaling, it was a bit difficult because I thought, what am I going to write about? Like, I have
Mm-hmm.
nothing to write. So you just start writing what you want for your day, and you write for a few minutes, and all of a sudden, like, really deep stuff comes up. That is
Mm-hmm.
where the essence is. This is really what you are looking for when you journal. And I love journaling because it's so intimate with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's no noise. It's just you and yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's from the book Artist's Way as well, that you are doing your morning pages to get more creative. It's exactly that, you do 3 pages of um, kind of free thoughts, just flowing, and then the juice actually starts flowing,
Yeah.
and you see the patterns, as you say.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
And another thing which I think is very powerful is to imagine yourself not with what you don't want. Like, it's
Hmm.
easy to say, I don't want to be the doormat of other people's baggage. I don't want to feel stuck in a job I have. I don't want to feel unheard or unseen. But focus of what you want,
Hmm.
because, like I said before, all the pictures you have in your mind, they create this whole, like they open up a whole world for you. And if you imagine yourself and envision yourself, how would that life look like if I would be more confident, if I would have the guts to quit my job that I don't like and do something with passion, with purpose,
Mhm.
something that I love to get up for in the morning.
Mhm.
If you envision yourself, like you take 10 minutes each evening and you just think of the person you would want to be, you start being really motivated of achieving this.
Mm.
So take the time and envision what you want and don't focus so much on what you don't want.
That is true that when you start moving towards that one, then things will start shifting in your energy.
Yeah,
And when
exactly.
the energy shifts, then that's where we can create change.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. I think we need to run a workshop on this one. We definitely need something for the community. I can already feel that would be a good one.
There's just one thing I want to share for those who are on this journey of becoming more confident and
Mhm.
um, increase their self-esteem.
Mhm.
Just be aware of who who will be impacted by your change, by your transformation. There are many people who will benefit from you being more confident, but there will also be people that will not benefit. Those
Mhm.
people that take advantage of you at the moment, those people that like that you cannot set boundaries, they take. They take
Mhm.
advantage of you, and they will be those people once they start feeling the shift of energy and feeling the shift of you becoming more assertive and confident, of saying no, setting your boundaries. They will like to put doubts in your head. Like, for example, be prepared. Someone might say to you, "Are you being hypersensitive today? Or you're overreacting? And what
Mm.
is this? Now you're so selfish all of a sudden? Like last week you would do it and today you wouldn't. You think you're better than us?"
Mm.
And that can create doubt of whether you're doing the right thing. But if you focus on why you're doing the transformation, why you're doing this shift, because of yourself, because of those people that are really benefiting from you, like yourself and your close family, your partner, your just your life. Don't worry about those other people. There will be people you need to let go. So I always like to remind my clients and set them up for that before we do the transformative session,
Mhm. Mhm.
because once you've been through the transformation, there's no way back. um,
That is true. That's true, actually. Yes. Mm.
mm,
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point, and always to remember that what's happening there is just their own internal battle,
yeah,
and them reflecting it upon you, and
exactly.
nothing to do with you and your behavior or your 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 worth or anything, or you being a good person.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
You're still a good person,
Mhm.
even though you
Mhm.
take decisions that might not suit everyone.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a bit of a cracker for some quite many women actually to due to socialization and issues like that. Um, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Great. So, wow, so many powerful nuggets here in this episode, and hopefully many more to come. I mean, we hope to have you back and talk way more and maybe on different topics. But so we talked about confidence, we talked about limiting beliefs, we talked about what women can do for themselves in terms of getting into the subconscious thoughts. And I'm going to take journaling back, by the way. um, um, Observing really seeing what pictures you're creating in your mind. And the last thing is, how can how can they continue? Where is it that you can be found and followed, and your work can be observed by those lovely women of ours?
Yeah, so anyone who is interested in just following me on Instagram or on Facebook, I'm pretty active there. I'm also on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
Vivian will put the,
The
I think,
links are,
yeah,
yes.
he will put the links. And if you are in doubt if this might be a good fit, then just ditch the doubt and book a call with me. You can go to my website. It's stefaniefernandes.com. You can book there a clarity call, and we can see, how this therapy modality is a good fit for you. I have two different programs, one for parents specifically, and one for women who would like to have more guidance on their healing journey and to really return back to themselves, like similar to what
Hmm.
I felt when I felt like I lost myself.
Yep.
Um, and these are two really good programs to increase your confidence, just manifest what you want in your life. There's one-on-one sessions, there's lots of follow-up. There are two RTT sessions, but independently of the modality, the outcome is just that it will transform your life. You will be transformed with the outcome of just living a more fulfilled and happier life. I think that's what we all should aim for, because life is just too short to stay
That is
miserable.
absolutely true. That is absolutely true. It's time to raise to the powers, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, great. Stephanie, thank you so much for being the guest today, and I wish each one of you there a very good week ahead. And we will be back with another episode of Warriors Podcast and yet another juicy topic, which will help everybody to raise to their confidence and create more of things we deserve. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and see you soon.
Bye.